All right, now, even as the security situation in Afghanistan worsens and the Taliban continues to gain control of more territory, the question that has arisen is how is New Delhi dealing with the situation? Now, remember, India has a lot of stakes in the developmental projects in Afghanistan, and with the withdrawal of US troops, the situation is now very volatile. In order to safeguard its own interests, along with pushing peace in the country, India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar has been on a diplomatic overdrive. And his next visit is, of course, to Russia, the host of Troika Plus talks with the United States, China and Pakistan on the Afghan peace process. Now, Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar will be visiting Russia today. He will be in Russia till the 9th of July to attend the annual India-Russia summit, which was postponed last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The formal statement by the Indian government has said that the visit will cover a range of bilateral issues along with regional matters. However, the key lies in the most important regional issue for India, the Afghanistan crisis. The situation that is unfolding in Afghanistan has been on India's agenda for the past few weeks. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar himself has made a few crucial visits to try and assure that peace will prevail. Now, last month, S. Jaishankar made 2 visits to Qatar. The visits came at a time when discussions between Taliban and the Afghan officials known as the Doha talks were about to get underway. The Jaishankar's Qatar visit came amidst reports of India being open to talks with the Taliban leaders for the very first time, which the Indian government later categorically has denied. Earlier, the Indian Foreign Secretary Harsh Vardhan Shringla said that the Taliban's relentless pursuit of power through violence has created an uncertain situation in Afghanistan and that the situation there remains very fluid. Russia looks at India as a key ally in the region. The Russian authorities themselves have also been in talks with the stakeholders in Afghanistan. The External Affairs Minister's visit is in continuation of the frequent high-level visits between India and Russia. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov visited India in April earlier this year. The visit will further strengthen the special and the privileged strategic partnership between the two nations. While Afghanistan remains a key focus area, India and Russia will have important bilateral matters to discuss as well including the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. The leaders are also expected to discuss ways to boost cooperation under the framework of the India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission for trade, economic, scientific and cultural cooperation. All right, now to give us more perspective in terms of what India's External Affairs Minister's visit to Russia, of course, means, we're joined in by Vion Siddhant Sibil, who's joining us live on this broadcast this morning. Good morning to you, Siddhant. This, of course, is a very crucial visit by S. Jaishankar. What can we expect of it?
Well, Mohammed, tomorrow will be the main day of engagement. He is in Russia primarily for the India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission on Trade, Science, Technology and Culture. This is a mechanism of engagement between India and Russia that happens between the two countries annually. But by and large, back of the mind, on front of the mind will be Afghanistan, given the situation has been rapidly deteriorating in the country. Taliban has been making massive gains. We know that just yesterday, the Indian mission in Kabul clarified that consulates in the southern province of Kandahar and in the northern province of Balkh, Mazar-e-Sharif is not closed. They are open and functioning. This coming at a time when Russia has categorically said that it is closing down its consulate in Mazar-e-Sharif because of the deteriorating situation. We know that in the past there have been engagement between the two sides. In fact, when the Russian Foreign Minister was here in Delhi, Sergei Lavrov, he was in fact accompanied by the Russian Special Envoy on Afghanistan, Zamir Kabulov, and the focus was on how there can be engagement. In fact, that visit was also all about Afghanistan. But this visit not only will be about Afghanistan, but also what next when it comes to Afghanistan. We know that 90% of American troops have left the country. And right now, Taliban is engaging in violence in large parts of the country. But nonetheless, if we look at the India-Russia relationship, this is a relationship which is much celebrated. It is a long-standing relationship. There have been many engagement annually as well. In fact, the Russian President Vladimir Putin is expected to visit India later this year for the annual India-Russia summit as well. Both the leaders had spoken just a few weeks ago on the supplies, the essential supplies Russia sent to India as India dealt with the second wave of COVID crisis. So it is a multi-dimensional relationship, but right now the key focus is Afghanistan.
Absolutely indeed, Siddhant. And that takes me to my next question. India has a lot of developmental stakes in Afghanistan. The situation in Afghanistan is very fluid. The Kabul government at this point of time looks to be on a pretty shaky wicket. Taliban is, of course, gaining ground. So with S. Jaishankar being in Russia, is there a strategy that is being chalked out to look at an eventuality where Taliban becomes more assertive in gaining power in Kabul?
Well, we know that there is a plan for Plan B by all the countries neighboring Afghanistan. In fact, one thing that is confirmed is that India has prepared a contingency plan in case the situation deteriorates. It is able to bring back its officials and its citizens in Afghanistan. There are a number of Indians who are engaged in NGO activities in India's infrastructure projects as well. But nonetheless, India is engaging with all the stakeholders. When it comes to Taliban, there is no higher level engagement. We know that the Indian government has categorically dismissed that the Indian External Affairs Minister ever met Taliban's leader Mullah Baradar. But nonetheless, there is some kind of conversation happening because it looks like that eventually, if Taliban does not control Kabul, it will be part of the Afghan government in some form or another. So we know that this could be a future possibility, and that is why this kind of engagement is underway. But right now, nobody knows what is going to happen next in Afghanistan. The situation, as you pointed out, is fluid. A situation can go either ways. It could be the Afghan government eventually prevailing as well, because yesterday the new commander of the Bagram airfield spoke to WION exclusively and said that they are planning to launch a major offensive against Taliban. So this could be very well Afghan government prevailing in future in coming days.
Absolutely indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Siddhant, for joining us and getting us all those updates. This is a story that we'll of course continue to track over the next few days as the story emerges. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.